You think it's a game? You think it's a fucking game? Y'all gon' make me lose my mind. Hey, yo, what's my name? Y'all gon' make me go all out. DMX. Y'all gon' make me act a fool. Hey, yo, what's my name? Y'all gon' make me lose my cool.
I tried so hard.
What y'all really want? What y'all really want?
But it doesn't even matter. Come on. I tried so hard.
What y'all really want?
It doesn't even matter. But it doesn't even matter. Come on.
Lord, give me a sign. Dog, I meet bitches, the street bitches, slash, Cocoa Puff, sweet bitches, make you wanna eat bitches, but not me.
I tried so
I fuck with these hoes from a distance. The instant they start to catch feelings, I start to. What is it you want from it? I gave you, you gave me. I played you, you played me.
and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Up in here, Up in here, Up in here, Up in here,
It doesn't even matter. And you reached as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. Put my trust in you. Pushed as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know.
If you feeling like a pimp, nigga, go on, push your shoulders off. Ladies is pimps too, go on, push your shoulders off. Niggas is crazy, baby, don't forget that boy told you get back. Turn up your shoulders, I probably owe it to y'all. Probably be locked like false, trying to hustle some things. That go with the push, feeling no remorse, feeling like my hand was forced. Middle finger to the law, nigga, grip on the ball. Certain ladies, they love me, from the bleachers, they screaming. All the ballers is bouncing, they like the way I be leaning. All the ballers is bouncing, they like the way I be leaning. If you bleed, feeling like a pimp, nigga, go on, brush your shoulders off. Ladies is pimps too, go on, brush your shoulders off. Niggas is crazy, baby, don't forget that boy told you get that.
lean back, Don't dance and just pull up your pants and do the rock away. Lean back, lean back. Come on, don't dance and just pull up your pants and do the rock away. Lean back.
That my best friend, she a real bad bitch, got her own money. She don't need no nigga on the dance floor. She had 2-3 drinks, now she twerking. She throw it out and come back in. My best friend, she a real bad bitch, got her own car. She don't need no lift in a strip club. No, my girl gon' tip, now she twerking. She throw it out and come back in. Is that my bestie in a taxi? Fresh blowout, skin on town, she pretty. Bitch, you look good with a T at the end. I'm a hyper every time, now my motherfucking friend. She been on with a T like, bitch, guess what? All the rich ass boys wanna fuck. I ass sitting up, could look, no touch. And I'm bad, bustin' bands every time we link up. That my best friend, she a real bad bitch, got her own money. She don't need no nigga on the dance floor. She had 2-3 drinks, now she twerking. She throw it out and come
Call me when you need.
Sicker than your average, sicker than your average.
Call me when you want. Call me when you need. Call me in the morning, I'll be alright.
Sicker than your average, sicker than your average.
Call me when you need. Call me in the morning, I'll be on the way. Call me when you want. Call me when you need. Call me out by your name, I'll be on the way. Fucking you don't even have to try. You're cute enough to fuck with me tonight.
Good morning, traders. What is up and what's going on? Woo! Happy hump day. It is the start of a brand new month, baby. December 1st. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, baby. I'm going to wear this hat all freaking month long. I am definitely wearing this hat all month long. I can't do it. I'm hot. I'm already starting to sweat a little bit. Starting to sweat. All right, guys. That's it. What's up? What's going on? In good morning, traders. Once again, happy hump day and welcome to, what is it, guys? Well, what's today? What's today to start off? Discipline December. Yes, that is the theme for December, guys, is disciplined December, right? We talked a lot about this yesterday, guys. Discipline is key, right? If we cannot be disciplined in our day-to-day life, how do we expect to be disciplined with our trading? How are we going to be disciplined to cut our losses, to build trade plans, to not chase stocks, to not FOMO in? If we can't be disciplined with little teeny things in life, how are we going to be disciplined with our trading? So the theme of December is Discipline December. And the goal for Discipline December is to get you guys disciplined, to get you guys consistent, talking about the foundation and the fundamentals of trading, the basics, all the way up to more advanced stuff, to get some great momentum to carry this on into what? 2022, baby. I want you guys being disciplined, consistent, confident, right? Building up some great positive momentum to start crushing it and to start leveling up your trading in 2022. So once again, welcome to Discipline December. Can I turn the mic up? The mic is all the way up, my man. The mic is all the way up. Any louder, it starts getting distorted. So definitely adjust your volume bar on the live stream inside of chat. But it's all the way up right now. I'm in the red. Any higher, it's going to come through crackly. So let's talk about what we're going to be talking. Let's talk about what we're going to be talking about. Let's review what we're going to be doing over the next 5 weeks, because as you know, we have 5 weeks. We have this week, next week, the 3rd week, the 4th week, and the 5th week. So we have like 23 days, 23 trading days of December. We have a little less than 5 weeks, about 4.5 weeks. So let's go ahead and review what we're going to be discussing week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just so you know the days, we're going to be talking about certain topics. So if you can't be here, but you really like a certain topic that's on here, you can make sure you're here for that day. All right. So week 1, welcome to Discipline December. Today, we're going to be talking about, what is discipline? What is it? All of us have an idea of what discipline is. I mean, one word with 1,000 different, ideas behind it, right? What is discipline? Discipline in your day-to-day life. I talk about this a lot, but we've broken it down into a lesson. And then the best books for discipline as well. Tomorrow, I'm going to win it, and we're doing a trade plan lesson. We have another trade plan lesson scheduled for the month of December. But guys, I think it's very, very important to go ahead and kickstart it hard. So today, talking about discipline, implementing discipline in your day-to-day life and how it bleeds into your trading. And then, some good podcasts and books to help you get more disciplined as well. And then tomorrow we'll be doing a trade plan lesson just to get you guys all ready to rock and roll for the month of December. All right. Week 2, We're going to be talking about risk management and accounts, right? So day 1 of week 2, obviously next Monday, types of trading accounts, right? We're going to then be talking about the golden rule of 3%, controlling your emotions, and then risk management with equities versus options, because there's different methods and different ways of managing your risk with equities and definitely with options. Week 3 is plans and preparation, right? So we're going to be talking about trade plans, the 3 A's. We're going to be doing that in week 3, but we're definitely doing it tomorrow as well. Stock selection, stop loss placement, and how to let a stock run. Week 4, we're going to be talking about trading rules and your mindset. So we're going to talk about trading rules, averaging into losing trades, why it's a no-no, chasing stocks, and how to handle red trades in red days, because it's a part of the game. It's going to happen, but how do we handle those? What do I do to overcome red days, red weeks, maybe a red month? What do I do to overcome that, right? Mindset, and then trading rules as well. Week 5, we're going to be talking about trading strategies, the best long setups, the best short setups, how to trade those. Talking about swing trading, and then I'm going to be introducing my top trading strategies, because my edge, my trading strategies are not the top 5 long setups, and they're not the top 5 short setups. I have a different approach, a different edge. I have different strategies that work for me in different types of market conditions. So we're going to be talking about my top trading strategies as well, depending on if we have a great market, a neutral market, or a bad market. All right, guys. So that is the theme for December, is once again Discipline December. We have everything structured, prepared, ready to go. And I'm really, really excited to just get serious with you guys. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're always serious, right? We are always serious inside a chat. We're here to make money. We're here to learn together, grow together, make money together. But I want you guys really honing in on your skill set. I really want you guys strapping in and taking this serious and really applying this. I want each and every one of you building that confidence, that consistency, and that discipline, and have some great momentum to roll into 2022. No more FOMOing on stocks, guys. No more chasing stocks, right? No more holding the bag and not honoring your stop loss. No more just trading the stock because it's moving, right? I'm not pointing fingers. It happens, right? It happens to me. Sometimes I don't cut my loss when I should. Sometimes I chase the stock and I get in too soon. I prematurely enter a trade. It happens, but I don't let it happen consistently. And the goal here is to talk about these things to where you can prevent these from happening consistently. All right. Good morning, Angel. What's up? Loving how we incorporate other important aspects of trading. Absolutely. It's not just about technicals. I have something I want to show you real quick, and I want to go into the watch list, guys. I do have something I put together last night, and I do want to talk about this. I'm going to post it up in chat. You will not understand it until I explain it. Okay? So I was listening to a podcast. I love podcasts, self-development. Okay? And something that I came across in a podcast, they were talking about Elon Musk. Like Elon Musk. Everybody thinks that he had a background in, electric vehicles and freaking spacecrafts and rockets. This man did not have a background in any of that, but yet he's the CEO and the founder of SpaceX and Tesla with no background whatsoever. So if someone asked him a question one time like, hey, as someone that doesn't have a background in any of this, right? Someone that doesn't have a background in, by the way, YouTubers, type in chat. I don't see any messages. For someone that doesn't have a background in any of this, how the hell do you know a lot about this? Like, obviously we know that you hire successful people, you hire very smart people, but you have a great amount of knowledge when it comes to this, but you never had a background. So how did you be able to soak all this information in, all this education in quick, fast, and easy? So he says knowledge as a source of a semantic tree. I do not know what the fuck a semantic tree is, but the analogy and the breakdown made sense, right? So basically what he was saying is understand the fundamental principles first. Right? If we compare that to like a tree, like the trunk and the branches, the foundation, the fundamental principles, right? The trunk and the branches, before learning the little details, like the leaves, the tiny little branches. Because if you don't understand the fundamental principles, the trunk and branches, before the little details, the leaf, there's nothing for those leaves to hang on to. So how do we apply that to trading, right? Elon Musk said it best. Right? Understand the fundamental principles first. The base, the trunk, right? What makes it strong and sturdy in there? And then start focusing on the little details. So, right, the base of the tree, the trading basics, guys, right? The foundation, what really makes that tree strong and it's planted to the ground. Trading basics. Then we could scale up in learning technical analysis, right? Looking at charts, reading charts, moving averages, trend lines, stuff like that. And then we move up into strategies, right? Long strategies, short strategies. And then you can identify your edge. There's too many people coming into the market trying to find the best strategy and make it their edge before they ever understand any kind of great technical analysis. And then most importantly, just the basics of trading, just the foundation, the basics. People try and go right into identifying their edge. That's the little detail. Those are the leaves. But without that foundation, the leaf has nothing to hold on to. The foundation is the basics of trading. And then it's the technical analysis. Then it's strategies, long and short. And then it's identifying your edge, right? You have to go from one to the other to the other. You can't go from trading basics and then try and identify your edge without really understanding proper technical analysis and strategies, right? What's the strategy? What's the criteria? Where are entries at? Where do stop losses go, right? Where are targets? Every single approach has a unique, entry and exit and plan around it. So I wanted to share this with you guys. Again, I was listening to that podcast and it really hit hard. As someone that didn't have a background in anything like that we were just talking about with Elon Musk, he was able to digest and learn all this and soak in all this information at a very quick pace. And how did he say he was able to do it? He focused on the principles first, the fundamental principles, right? What's most important? And what's most important right now for new traders is the basics of trading. Understanding the basics. What's risk management? What's a trade plan, right? Understanding the basics of trading. Then bleeding into technical analysis. Again, guys, technical analysis is 10% of your job. 90% of your job is emotion control, is patience, is building plans, right? It's being disciplined and having rules and abiding by them, right? That's 90% of what makes your trading successful. 10% is technical analysis. Then learning strategies. Once you know TA, you know what a strategy is, you know what to look for, and then you can start tweaking that to identify your edge. So use that analogy. It came from a podcast. I'll share that podcast with you if you guys want. But, I thought that was something that was unique. I liked it from this podcast, and I tried to make that into a visual representation because that's something that I do want to talk about here in the coming days about how we have to have a strong foundation, right? I use that analogy of a house all the time. You can't build a really tall house in a big house with a weak foundation because you have the issue of it possibly collapsing and failing and crumbling all the way down. But if you have a strong foundation, right, and you got strong bones and a strong frame, you could build on top of that house. You can keep building and building and building and building, and it's sturdy, it's strong, it's not going anywhere. That's your foundation, guys. It's all about a strong and sturdy foundation before you start coming out here trying to trade with a $30,000 account, and now you're down $2,000 and wondering why. Well, you skipped the basics. You skipped what's most important, building a strong foundation. So December is all about building a strong foundation. Now, enough of that. We'll talk about that more a little bit later. We got 20 minutes until the market opens, and I'm going to review the stocks with you guys that I think have the best opportunity. We have a decent watch list, but I don't think it's worth, talking about every single stock in a lot of detail to overwhelm you guys. So number one I want to talk about is my number one back burner sleeper play of the day. And that stock is ATXI. ATXI is setting up for a possible mid-candle breakout formation. All right, so I want to see what this one looks like out of the gate. What do we know? We want to see the stock starting to break back above the prior day close, right? In this case, it's 141. And we want to see it start to break back over the prior day's open, right around 145. And ideally that high as well at 149. So really, a break over 141, 145, and 150, we could see a lot of volume and a lot of height move in. We have room to 180, 179 to 180. You're like, Josh, that's only 30 cents. Well, the stock's $1.50. That's 20%. If we catch this perfectly and we trade this perfectly, and it's a great mid-candle opportunity, that's 20% return that we could possibly get on ATXI. So I know the opportunity is small. It's not dollars, it's 30 cents, but still, that's a big move. That's a decent percentage for a stock that's $1.40 in price right now. So ATXI is my number one back burner sleeper play for a possible mid-candle breakout formation today. All right, OP. We talked about OP this morning. I'm in here every single morning at 8 o'clock. Sometimes the live stream comes up a little bit later, but I'm in here every morning at 7 o'clock, and I'm looking at stocks. OP was something that we posted this morning, guys. OP, new IPO yesterday. This stock is moving up over 100% here in pre-market. We do have a solid uptrend and are looking for the break over yesterday's high of 12.09. The next target would be $15 and $20. Right now, support is at the trend line. What happened here on OP? Now, we were looking at it right here as it was trying to break the all-time high at 12.09, yesterday's high. But we knew support was all the way back down here at the trend line. So why are you buying here at resistance when you know support's all the way back down here? If this stock would have broke over resistance, you could have waited for a pullback and then jumped in for the next leg up. But there were people buying here at $12, at $11.90, at $11.80, anticipating a break. Why would you anticipate a breakout when you know support's all the way down here at $8.75 and you're buying at $11.85? That makes no sense. That's $3 above support. Wait for resistance to break and wait for it to turn into support, then go long. But when you're buying at the ceiling, you take the risk of it falling all the way down to the floor. In this case, $3. So what could you have done? You could have waited. You could have drew your trend line. You saw it come down and bounce off the trend line. Now you're starting to scale into this trade, and you're looking for this stock to push back up towards around 12.09. What else are we seeing here on OP? It's an ascending triangle breakout formation. This stock is building higher lows and it has flat resistance. This is one big ascending triangle breakout formation. I'm looking for the trend line to hold. I'm looking for that break over 12.09. We have room to 15 and we have room to 20 on OP. Next, ARDX. So ARDX has news. It's an 83 million in float stock. When I posted this morning inside the chat, it was trading 2x relative volume. Right now on ARDX, it's trading over almost 6x on the volume here against its average volume. So we do have high relative volume. We have a medium float stock, right? It's 83 million. It's a medium float stock. It's a slower and steadier play. It could definitely move. And it does have this nice uptrend support, right? Kind of like OP. It has a really nice trend line and it's holding up as great support. So right now we can see visually we have this uptrend support, and we can see that we have room back to the pre-market high of 153, over 153, 160, over 160, 185, and then up towards around 209. If we really start breaking 2 and 209, we could see ARDX all the way back up towards around $12.45. So we have a lot of great targets on ARDX. It has news. I mean, it's a medium float stock. It's definitely not a stock that's going to rip $1 at a time, but it could definitely be a stock that's a nice, slow, steady mover to the upside. And it does have potential to get to 245 on ARDX. Now, if we crack this uptrend, where's your next level of support, right? Because right now, uptrend is support. Well, you would have yesterday's resistance right around 128. I would say between 125 and 128 is going to be the next best level of support for ARDX. But right now it is the trend line. We at least know we have room to 153, 160, 185, 209, and then 245. Let me shut my blinds real quick, guys, because this sun is just beating in and I cannot see my screens. All right, so we're watching ARDX. I do like ARDX. This morning, we see NEO and IOs moving up. We see LI and XPEV all moving up. Why are these three stocks moving up? Well, they reported strong delivery report for November. So NEO, LI, and XPEV all having very strong Novembers in regards to deliveries of vehicles. So out of these three EV-related stocks that are currently gapping up, I like LI the most, right? Looking at the daily chart on LI, it just looks a lot better. Big U-shape, breaking out over that level of $36 resistance here in pre-market. Overall, just looking at the daily chart, LI looks a lot better, right? Now let's go look at like NIO. NIO, it doesn't look all that appealing. XPEV, it's somewhat appealing, but when we compare it to LI, LI definitely looks the best. And right now we're seeing some of these EV related stocks moving on up. We have Lucid moving on up. Obviously, we have LI, NEO, and XPEV because of the strong November report. So out of those three stocks, I like LI the most. I would expect to see a little bit of profit taking. Again, the stock went from 35.44, hitting highs of 38. I would like to see this pull back towards 36. So open, pull back, hold above 36, and then see some action move into LI. But if that doesn't happen, over $38, we do have room all the way up towards around 40. Boom, right at 39.89. So regardless of what happens, we have a lot of great opportunity. If it's rejecting off 38, we can look for puts down to 36, right? If it breaks and holds over 38, we can look for calls up to 40. If it does pull back the way I want to see it pull back into that 36 level and we hold a support, maybe we have some good calls up to 38, then looking for a break over 38 up to 40. So out of those three stocks, I think LI looks the best, and I think LI has some of the better potential compared to NEO, compared to XPEV. All right, but we're still watching NEO and XPEV as well. BBIV is on watch list, but I don't think it's worth your time right now. AUVI is also on the watch list. I don't think it's worth your time right now. CNTX is definitely worth your time, right? We talked about this one this morning. CNTX breaking over the all-time high of 830, has room to 10. Didn't make it to 10, made it to 963 here on CNTX. But what happened? The stock broke out. It's pulling back. Where's it pulling back to? It's pulling back to prior resistance, aka new support. So here on CNTX, we have a lot of great potential today. CNTX is an 8 million in float stock. It's trading 3.5 million shares, and all of that volume literally just moved in right around 850. I'm looking for CNTX to stay above that 803. In a perfect world, I'd really like to see CNTX staying above that old level of resistance and turning into new support. If we can see that happen, we have room back up towards around those highs of 963 and then $10. Now, $10 is one of the strongest levels for a penny stock to break. But if we break $10, this thing could absolutely explode to the upside, and your next main level of resistance would be up towards around 15 bucks. I like CNTX a lot. There is no news. It's a newer IPO stock. It had a nice bounce a couple weeks ago, and we've seen some volume and momentum pick up over that, 1 to 2 week duration. And it's just getting some steam. It's just getting some momentum. It has attention. There's traders focused on it. So there's not a catalyst as far as news, but the daily technicals don't look bad. I see the reason why it's moving. The float's low. We're picking up on volume. It's a newer IPO, and we know stocks, IPO stocks that start ripping again, they usually rip really, really well. I do want to keep CNTX on high watch. One of the top stocks that I'm personally watching right out of the gate is going to be CNTX, simply based on the technicals. The technicals look really, really great. That nice break over that all-time high. It's pulling back right now, trying to hold that all-time high as new support. If we can see that take place and that happens, again, we have room back up to the pre-market high of 963 and then up towards around 10 bucks. And then again, anything over $10, this thing could really start taking on off, guys. Okay, that's CNTX. LMDX is another stock I want to keep on watch, but again, right now, it's not really doing all that much. So that's the watch list that we have, guys, right? That's the watch list. There's a lot of stocks on watch, but I'm not going to sit here and talk too much about these stocks that don't have opportunities right now. Every single stock with news has been posted in alerts chat. If you want to go through and look at the stocks with news, the articles, check them out. It's all about doing due diligence, right? I do not want to overwhelm you with 10 different stocks on your watch list to where you're all over the place at the start of the day, right? I do not want that to take place. So I'm going to break down the stocks that I think have the best opportunity, at least the ones that we should be focused on right at the start of the day. And obviously, like yesterday, there's going to be a lot of stocks that come off that watch list, and there's going to be stocks that will re-add to the watch list based on what's happening in the market and where traders decide to go. All right, so ATXI, possible mid-candle breakout formation. OP is a top stock we should be watching out of the gate for a possible big ascending triangle breakout formation. It was a new IPO yesterday. ARDX has news. It's a medium float stock trading the highest relative volume. So I want to see ARDX hold above this trend line at the lowest 125 and 128. We know we have room back to 153, 160, and then 185 there on ARDX. LI, we talked about LI. Supports at 36, resistance at 38. We do have room to $40 on LI. And then the last penny stock that I want to be watching right out of the gate is CNTX. And we just talked about that one, guys. Right? So it's ATXI as a back burner sleeper play. The top stocks that I want to be watching out of the gate for penny stocks are OP. I want to be watching ARDX. I want to be watching LI. Not really a small cap penny stock. It should be on the lower part of my watch list. But anyway, you guys get the deal. And then CNTX. All right? Definitely want to be watching CNTX as well. All right? My options watch list. I'm going to go through every single stock that's on the options watch list if you want to add it to your watch list as well. But I'm going to talk about the ones that I think have the best potential right out of the gate to make sure you're prepared and focused on the ones that have the best of the best opportunity. I am watching lows today. Lows for possible puts. I'm watching Roblox today for possible puts. I'm watching Snowflake today for possible puts. Netflix for possible puts. Square for possible puts. Apple for possible calls, right? If we see this gap up, right, it's gapping up. We see it pull back to the all-time high of 165.70. And we hold that level of support and we start to see buying move back in. I'd be looking for calls on Apple and then Home Depot puts. So the entire options watch list, everything's puts. But I have to be really focused on what? I gotta be focused on the SPY, right? Should be focused on the Qs as well. If the market starts ripping, maybe I don't want to take puts on these stocks. Maybe we see the markets kind of follow, what the SPY is doing today. I still don't think we're in the clear on the SPY. Two key levels that I'm really honed in on is this 462.13. If it does briefly break above that 462.13 level, we have room to 464. As long as we're below those two levels, I still don't think we're in the clear. But if we break and regain these levels today, we could definitely be ready for a leg up. And we could definitely recover back up to new all-time highs. So until we're above 462 and 464 and properly holding these levels as new support, I still think we have room to the downside. So I'll be watching the SPY. If we see some weakness in the SPY and we start to see the SPY curling and falling once again, the top options that I'm watching today for puts going to be Snowflake, SNOW, below 335. All right, I actually have marked up 334.92. I see this having room down to 325 there on SNOW. That's almost $10 to the downside. I like Snow. I think it's a good opportunity for puts. Square. Same thing. Square. I know it could be a double bottom here, right? We could be seeing a double bottom on Square. We would have to confirm over 220, right? Double bottom with a break over the that previous high, in this case, 220.75. If this is a double bottom and it starts breaking over that 220.75, we could definitely start to see Square start to make a move back up. But if we crack below 205.28 on Square, I still see us having room down the 192. So I know right now we bounced pretty much last night at that 205.28. We are up towards around 210, right? It's about a $2 gap up from yesterday's close, but I'm still not convinced this is a double bottom yet, and we're going to see this fully recover and start moving back to the upside. Another thing as well is we just had the 50 cross the 200 yesterday. That's a bearish signal. That's a bearish sign. When the 50 crosses the 200, everything is curling. Everything is pointing down. Very, very strong. I still want to keep this on watch. If it starts bouncing and it's recovering, fantastic. Maybe we have some good longer-term call opportunity on Square. But again, if we start breaking below that 205.28, I definitely want to grab some puts down towards around 200 and then really looking for a crack below 200 down towards around 192.04. All right, so out of every single stock that I have on watch for options today, the top two that I'm watching are Snowflake, SNOW, for puts below 334.92 down to 325, and then potentially Square. If Square starts cracking below that 205.28, down the 200 and down the 192.04. Obviously, before I make any entries on any of those, I will be looking at the SPY, seeing what the SPY does, and I'll be looking at the Qs today as well. Just like Monday. Monday, I was like, I just don't really have an edge. on the Qs, on the SPY. Like, I'm just not really confident with my TA, right? Today's an uncertain day, and I called it. Hey, I'm uncertain with the SPY. I'm uncertain with the Qs. I have no TA for you guys. Yesterday, I'm confident. I'm certain. I like what I'm seeing. All right? Yesterday, we absolutely nailed the SPY from 464, guys. I mean, to the penny, all the way down, very close to our 454 target. So, just like Monday, I'm a little uncertain with the SPY right now. Yesterday, I was very confident, right? Monday, I wasn't. I was a little uncertain. Today, I'm a little uncertain as well. I have to sit back. I have to wait and see what the SPY does out of the gate. But I'm leaning more towards the bearish side still. I'm leaning more towards the put side. But again, I'm not 80% confident, kind of like 55, 45. So I don't want to give too much analysis on the SPY right now because I'm still a little uncertain myself. But as the day unfolds a little bit, we'll start to get more of an idea and more of an edge on where we can expect to see the SPY heading next. So that's going to kind of dictate how I take some of these trades because, like I said, 90% of what I'm looking at today for options for larger price stocks are to the put side. But if we see SPY ripping and running, the markets and these stocks are going to kind of follow along as well, and we're going to see some movement to the upside. The last thing I want to do is be to the short on puts and seeing the SPY and the Qs rallying to the upside and ripping and just getting completely destroyed. So I'll be putting a lot of emphasis on the SPY and the Qs to kind of dictate what I'm looking at on Snowflake and Square. All right, so what are you guys looking at? What are you guys looking at? Anything that you want me to review? Good morning, Jay Cohen, Rodney, Placid. What's up, Angel? Jay Rich, Jamie, Skylar Mexoids. What's up? Good morning. We got about 1:38 to go. Is there anything that you guys have on your watch that you would like me to review? But right now, I think we have a solid watch list, guys. Solid watch list. CNTX out of the gate. Definitely want to be watching this one. And then OP. Definitely want to be watching OP as well. Honestly, I think OP is has the best opportunity out of the gate, guys. Like, I'm not an out of the gate trader, but looking at these technicals and looking at what I'm seeing, it looks really strong. It looks really good. If I take anything right out of the gate, it would be OP. So right now, I am watching OP as my number one stock out of the gate. Followed by CNTX, number 2. Followed by ARDX, number 3. And then my low float back burner sleeper play is going to be ATXI for the possible mid candle breakout formation. Today, I have a trade on VBIV. I did take a trade on VBIV before it started dumping on down. I was able to lock in a quick $100. I'm already green starting December, baby. I'm already green starting December. It's a small little base hit, but it's green, and I'm ready to rock and roll, guys. $1,000 days. $1,000 days minimum. We're making 20K this month. No, that's a bad mindset to have. Terrible mindset to have. We're going to make freaking awesome trades this month. We're going to do what we do best. Remain disciplined, smart, trade safe, have our plans, be prepared always. And we will find the right opportunities. We will attack, and we will make consistent profits, guys. So let's have an awesome time. Let's make some profits, guys. And let's get fired up. Again, OP would be like the only stock that I would even consider touching out of the gate. And OP's the IPO. OP's holding that trend line. OP, guys, I mean, she has some potential. OP has some potential. I'm long on it. I'm being risky on 250 shares. I'm long on it right now because I like the potential it has. I mean, it's a lower float, new IPO stock. We know these stocks get some hype. I'm not saying buy this. I'm saying it's a risky trade for me, right? I'm admitting it. Hey, it's a little risky. I'm buying right out of the gate. But at the same time, I've been all over this stock since pre-market, and I don't have 1 million shares. I don't have 1,000 shares. I have 250 shares. And this is something that I think I could scale in, scale out of today for a nice move up over that 1209. I have a lot of confidence that this stock could easily break over 1209 today, guys. ARDX got pulled down really hard there. And I'm sorry, guys, for those of you on YouTube, I do not see any of your comments in chat. So let me refresh it real quick. I don't see any, I don't see anything. There we go. There we go. What's up? Good morning, Carlos, Danny, David, Denise, Martin, George, DJ. Good morning. What's up? So ARDX is getting pulled down pretty good. OP is really fighting to hold the that $10 mark, so I'm still long on OP. ATXI is the mid-candle breakout possibility, guys. Do not sleep on ATXI, possible mid-candle breakout. When this stock starts breaking 145, this thing could really start taking on off here on ATXI, guys. Is OP getting some pop to it? OP is getting a little bit of pop-a-roo to it. It's moving a little bit. There's 1050. That's squeezing now. It's squeezing a little bit now. Halt level on OP is 1125, guys. 1125 is the halt level here. I fear a rug pull, so I have to get out. I went ahead and got out because I fear a rug pull. I locked in $16, but that price action, I was like, man, I feel a rug pull coming, right? And look at that rug pull. So I got out right at break even for 16 bucks. If this was going to squeeze into a halt, it would have popped over 11. It would have gotten halted. But that price action, I saw a lot of red hitting that time in sales. I said, dude, I feel a rug pull coming. I went ahead and got out of that one. Yes, disciplined December. So like I said, guys, I was in 250 shares at 1020. I got out for a small $16 profit because, again, I was just not fearing, but I just had that feeling of a rug pull after looking at the time in sales. So I went ahead and got out real quick. I went ahead and got out on that. In CNTX over that 803, 809 level doesn't look bad on CNTX, guys. CNTX has a lot of great opportunity today as well. Stops would be under 780. That's 30 cents. A little early in the day, but this thing could really start taking on off. So we're definitely watching CNTX. AUVI is moving up. AUVI is moving up there a little bit. Look at your resistance right there at your 50 SMA. 553, there's a lot of resistance at 553, guys. So be careful with AUVI. You're running into a very strong wall of resistance right there at that 50-day moving average. So we'll have to see if that thing can actually break. NEO, LI, XPEV, all getting hit really, really hard right out of the gate. All getting hit really, really hard. CNTX failing to hold above 803. AUVI, a lot of resistance at the 50-day moving average. BBIV fading and falling. XPEV, LI and NEO fading and falling. Here's the thing, guys. OP is back at this trend line. All right, OP is back at its trend line, guys. So if you guys do like OP and you think it has potential, it is still on this massive trend line. So if this stock holds this big uptrend, you still have potential here on OP. You still have some okay potential there on OP, guys. So that's right around like the $9-ish mark, but it's getting halted to the downside right now on OP. I'm short snow. I'm short snow right now. And LGVN, guys, is not a bad looking stock. They had news yesterday. It ripped a little bit. Support's 22.13. So as long as we're above 22.13 on LGVN, we look really, really good. We look really, really good. We have room up towards around 25.38 next. So up towards around that 25.38. So again, as long as we hold above 23, that 23.26 level, we could see this up towards around 25.37 here on LGVN. Again, there's a lot going on right now. You're 7 minutes into the market. You're 7 minutes in. There's a lot happening right now, guys, right? You got LGVN trying to get some action. You guys saying ISPC is halted to the upside. It is halted to the upside. There's a lot of stuff moving. It's really identifying where the best opportunity is, though. Remember, discipline, discipline, discipline. We're in Discipline December, guys, all right? Be calm, cool, collective. Look for the best of the best opportunities, all right? And there's a lot of stuff moving. There's a lot of opportunity in the market right now. The SPY at this point in time is looking a little iffy. Right now, it's just looking a slight bit iffy. If it starts popping back above this 9 EMA up over into the VWAP, we could see a big red to green move here on the SPY. We could. I'm not saying it's going to happen. We could. You see the Qs rocking up here a little bit. I want to see if the Qs are going to go for a red to green move, guys. If the Qs go for a red to green move, we could see this explode up towards around that $400 level. We could definitely see it explode up towards around that $400 level on the Qs if we do a just a simple boom, red to green move there. Again, I know you guys are watching ISPC as it is currently halted right now. ISPC has great support at 1845, guys. 1845 is really good support on ISPC. It's really good support. So right now, she has room back up to 2282. You're looking at 2282 there. Stock is getting a lot of great action to it right now. Again, 1845 is a pretty strong level of support for ISPC. Very strong level of support. New low a day on Snowflake. New low a day on Snow. I'm going to take half. Woo! That's my one and done, baby. That's my one and done on Snow to the short side. There we go. Let's see if we crack 334.92 here. We start cracking 334.92. We have another 10 points to the downside on Snowflake, guys. So right now, Snow, another new low a day, 335.15. There we go. Cracking below 3. There's 333. Let's take a little bit more there. I got 50 shares left. That's how we start our December, baby. And I'm locking it up. I'm locking it up. That's it. One and done, baby. That's how I'm rocking December. That's how I'm rocking 2022. One and dones. One and dones. VBIV for $100 in pre-market, $16 for OP. And then I took my short on Snowflake. I really liked it. Boom. $1,000 on SNOW. I'm up $1,100 on the day. That's my one and done. I'm done trading. That's it. That's my goal. I'm out. I'm here for you guys. I'm done. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And we're done for the day, baby. I'm going to shut this shit down too. Out of sight, out of mind. You think I'm joking too? You guys think I'm joking? I'm literally going to shut it down. Right here. Boom. Out of sight, out of mind. Boom. Shut her down. Boom. There we go. All right. So that was a quick little in and out there. So again, ISPC has the best support at 1845 over on ISPC. 1845. CNTX needs to get back above 803. LGVN is just kind of chopping around a little bit. OP, again, guys, right at $9. I mean, you could put stops at 850. Like, literally, you could risk 50 cents, 75 cents on OP. You have potential to 12. I mean, you're talking $2.50 to the upside, risking 50 to 75 cents. It's a great 3-to-1, 4-to-1 setup, and you're right off the trend line as well. So, again, I would have to be putting stops underneath those prior lows at like 872. I'd have to throw stops down at like 850 if it were me on OP. My stops would have to be at like $8.50, and you're looking for a nice, longer term move, right? I wouldn't say it's going to hit 12 in like 5 minutes, but, you know, definitely over the next 20 to 30 minutes, you could see OP up towards around 12, as long as it holds above that 875 level. So you need to put your stops below, you know, like 875 if you like OP. So OP right now doesn't look all that bad. ATXI, not really doing its thing. ARDX was another one, guys, above that 125 to 128. Even if it cracks the trend line, we still have good support at 125 to 128. So that's a key level to be watching ARDX. That is a key level to be watching ARDX above 125 to the long side. You have room to 153 and then 160 on ARDX. Got to see OP stay above 875 for this to stay intact. Above 875, it still has a lot of great potential. My stops, if I were in this trade, would have to be below 850. You could see a little bit of a red to green move on ARDX. You pulled back, you bounced, a little bit of a double bottom. If this starts breaking VWAP, watch for a red to green move and watch for ARDX to get that pop up to those pre-market highs of 153, guys. Right now, ARDX doesn't look bad at all. ARDX does not look bad at all. Same thing, OP. It's a little risky, but it's at the trend line. It's above 875. You're right at support. If you like the low risk, high reward, buying off support approach, I mean, that's a decent approach there. Your risk is very minimal. You're talking 60 cents of risk, maybe 75 cents at most, with, you know, almost $2.50 to the upside on OP. ARDX, watch for a red to green move, guys. ARDX, watch for this red to green move here. Stops under 125. You have room to 153, 160. Then you have room to 185 on ARDX. So our top stocks to watch out of the gate were OP. OP starting to bounce off the trend line. ARDX starting to get some action for a red to green move. CNTX is the only one that hasn't done anything for us yet. I shorted 200 shares of snow. I shorted 200 shares of snow. And caught it for about $6 to the downside. Oh, that stupid thing's still there? My bad, guys. I have a new streaming platform. Let me remove that Black Friday thing. I didn't realize that was still there. It's covering up all the scanners. My bad, guys. My bad. I did not know that was there. It was like a $60,000, $70,000 short. I mean, I don't really look at the capital I'm using. I look at the shares and how I manage the trade. Square hasn't done anything for us yet. Let's just kind of go through everything one by one. HD, nothing. Again, Apple above 165.70. It still has a lot of strength. You can see this back up at 168.65. And your key level that you want to see this holding above at the lowest would be that 165 to 165.70. Again, Square hasn't done anything for us yet. I'll turn it up a little bit for you guys. I'll crank it just a little bit and see if that helps you guys. I don't like it getting too distorted, though. Netflix, nothing yet for the day. Snow could be another good short. I mean, it was a good short right there at 338. I don't know about it at 335. 338 was a good entry. Still cracking below 334.92 and below 333. Watch for Snowflake, SNOW, to get pulled down to that 325 as long as it stays below 340 on Snow. Roblox, nothing yet. Lowe's, we don't have anything there. LMDX. We can take that off the watch list, guys. Look for a break and a regain of that 812. That was 829. 829. So this is what you want to see here on CNTX. If you guys like CNTX and you want to get involved, this is what you would want to see here on CNTX, right? We know we have all-time high resistance and pre-market support. We see all the resistance right there at 829, 829, 829. The stock is in a downtrend. We do not want to buy it. We want to wait for the stock to break, hold, then we could look to go long, right? Then we could look to go long, stops underneath support, and then you could look for a nice big run back up to that pre-market high of 963. You will not touch this until the stock breaks and holds over that key level. If you're buying it right here, it could move up and then rug pull and get halted to the downside. Anything could happen in this market. You have to be patient. Again, you need to wait for the stock to actually break this level of resistance, hold it. That's where you want to get involved. Nice tight stops, and you have room all the way back up into that 950 level on CNTX. That's what you'd be looking for there on CNTX if you wanted to get involved. Not any sooner than that, or you prevent, or you take the risk of, just jumping into a trade prematurely. VBIV can come off the watch list for now. XPEV can come off the watch list. LI can come off the watch list. NEO can come off the watch list. I mean, we don't need all these stocks on watch. Look at your red to green move on ARDX. Absolutely beautiful. Red to green move on ARDX. Support's now the open. So support is now the open at 140 on ARDX. And OP, we know what's happening with OP. We cannot see it crack the trend line or crack that 870 level. If it cracks 870, you'll probably get stopped out at 846. That's why you have stops in the system. You have to say, hey, do I like this setup? Do I like the trade? Is it my edge? Is it my style? If it's yes, 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 you can take the trade. You can have a proper plan. But if you're like, I don't know this setup, I don't know the trade, I don't understand it, paper trade it. Paper trade it a little bit, right? Get familiar with trend line bounces. Get familiar with the 875 rule in penny stocks. Get familiar with building these types of trade plans, right? Just because I'm saying it's a good trade, here's a target, here's a stop, doesn't mean you jump into it. It means, hey, Josh is saying it has room to 12. I see why it has room to 12. Josh is saying stops at 850. I see why he's saying stops at 850. I see why he thinks this is a good entry and a good trade based on these separate reasons of technical analysis. Right? Again, this is for education. This is not saying buy, buy, buy. I want to educate you guys. You can build your own plans and see, is this something that I want to get involved with? And if you're not confident in these types of setups or trades yet, paper trade them, right? Paper trade them. Only trade your real account on setups you're confident with, setups that you've traded before and you know what to expect, you know what to see, all that good stuff, guys. I mean, what a beautiful red to green on ARDX, though. That was nice. LGVN right now is not doing a whole lot. It's definitely struggling right now on LGVN. You just hit a new low a day on Snow, 330. It's scattered. Volume's a little scattered right now. You had BRTX with a quick pop. It's rolling over. You had LGVN with a quick pop. Right now, it's just it's kind of messy and choppy. There's not a lot of opportunity, in my opinion. I mean, we could have a double bottom at 22.69 right off the pre-market high. So, if you were going to take LGVN or if you were in LGVN, your stops right now would be at like $22.40. You'd have to risk $22.40. You have room up towards around $25.37 on LGVN. Well, I think OP will go back up. You know, if OP starts cracking that 875, 870 level, it'll probably fade and fall today. It has a lot of room to fall to the downside, right? So once it starts cracking those levels, I mean, you could see this back at 775, back down at 680. So yeah, if this one starts cracking that 870, 875, and you see it below 850, it's most likely going to fade and fall $1 to $2 today on OP. How's the SPY looking? The SPY, I'm still on the bearish side. I'm still on the bearish side a little bit. Even the Qs, I'm still slightly on the bearish side for now. We have a little bit of a head and shoulders formation forming on the Qs. I mean, check that out, guys. Look at that textbook head and shoulders formation on the Qs. I'm still not bullish yet. OP still intact. ARDX is still intact. These are your top stocks that I'm listing right now. OP, ARDX. Again, CNTX, we talked about this one. Looking for a break and a hold above 829. If you see the break and the hold, that is a good opportunity to take this back up towards around 950. ISPC right now is just a little choppy in my opinion. LGVN, a very, very low float stock. It's a little choppy right now as well on LGVN. You know, Snow was a good short right there when I took it. That was a great short. Right now, there's not a lot of opportunity on Snowflake anymore. I am still watching Netflix for puts. If you like Apple for puts, if it ever cracks this uptrend, that's when you want to grab puts, guys. If it ever cracks this uptrend, you could take puts down to that 165.70. You're talking that's, you know, almost $2 to the downside. Those could definitely pay on Apple. And HD, I was thinking puts. It's starting to pop a little bit. I'm going to take that off the watch list. OP's trying to get that curl. OP's trying to get that U shape. Again, we held the 870, 875 beautifully. So stops are under low a day. Stops, like I've been saying, need to be like 845 to 850. Like I'd be putting my stops under 850. When we were talking about this, it was like 920. That's like 60 cents of risk, 70 cents of risk. Your upside potential could be $3. Not saying you hold the bag until it hits 12 bucks. What I'm saying is you have potential to leave a runner on the table to get to 12, right? And even leave a runner on the table if it breaks over 12 and it starts running to 15, right? Where would you want to start locking in some profits? VWAP, right? At VWAP, you should lock in a little bit. At high a day, 1070, you should lock in a little bit. At $12, you should lock in a little bit. And then if you want to leave a runner, you would leave a runner up towards around 15 bucks on OP. That's how you could look to scale out of this position at levels of resistance, but still leave a good chunk of your position on the table, just in case we see the stock hit a new all-time high today at 15. I mean, OP, that's kind of how I'm feeling with it. OP, I mean, it's still intact. It still hasn't dropped below that key level of support yet. So overall, OP is still intact for now. I'm like not 70-30 with it. I'm more like kind of 50-50. ARDX was a great red to green move off the double bottom over VWAP, 136 up to 150. You do have room to 163 if we can break over 153. So we do have room to 160, guys, if we can break over that pre-market high of 153 there on ARDX. So here's your possible trade, right? Wait for the break. Wait for the break over that 829. Wait for the stock to pull back. Wait to see buyers move in. That could be an entry. Stops now go below $8.10. Stops would be below $8.10. All right. So right now you have the breakout. You have the pullback right into that 829. You also have the VWAP and the 9 EMA to support this stock as well. So you had 3 separate levels of support, really helping hold CNTX up. Now what we're looking for is a break over 875. It's the 875 rule for penny stocks. We need to see a nice intraday break over 875 before we can see that next leg up to 950 and then $10 there on CNTX. You know, ISPC is just light volume, and it's pretty choppy right now. LGVN ended up hitting our 25.37 price, and then followed by a nice little rug pull. So we're about 27 minutes in. 27 minutes in, and you know, ARDX was a beautiful red to green, nice winner there. CNTX, again, it was trading under 829 for the first, 20 minutes of the day. I'm preaching, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. Wait for the stock to get back above those 3 key levels of support. Now we're above those 3 key levels. Once you break 875 on CNTX, you should easily see 950 and then possibly $10. But 875 is that key level to really break. There's an 875 break. Trim a little bit, guys. It's never a bad idea to trim a little bit. You guys were getting in on the pullback, probably low 830s. Trim some, stops at break even, right? Trim a little bit of profit, stops at break even. We see a lot of rug pulls in the market. That's a nasty candle right there. That's a nasty candle. Always take profit when you have it in this market, right? I mean, you're talking that's 50 cents of profit there off the pullback. I'd be putting stops. I'd be putting stops at break even, because I would not want to hold this for a rug pull and get stuck in a halt to the downside and take a trade that's a winning trade and turn it into a losing trade, especially in the market where we see a lot of rug pulls, guys. Was Tesla a sloppy red to green move? No, Tesla was not a red to green move. Tesla was not a red to green move, Collins. But don't worry, we're going to be talking about a lot of this month in Discipline December, baby. We're going to be talking about strategies, what the criteria is, what they look like, how to make entries, all that good stuff. But a red to green move is what we see here on ARDX, where the stock opens red, pulls back, finds a base, and then it breaks over the open, and it starts running to the upside. So red, right, it drops, finds support, you get a big U shape, breaks over the open. In this case, it was $1.40, and then it trends higher. We have room to 153, I believe. 153, yep, and then 160 and 185 on ARDX. Now, CNTX is still holding, guys, but I would always be in a position to lock in profits when you have them, especially in this market. You have a reversal on OP. You do have a possible inverse head and shoulders. So right now, if you guys were taking this trade, your stops are under 850. You do have a decent technical setup now, and we could start to see this get a nice little pop to it. Your first target here on OP to lock in a little bit of profit is going to be your VWAP at 975. So 975 needs to be your first target on OP to lock in a little bit and at least secure some profits. So what I'm saying, guys, is if you want to take Apple long, you can take it long off the trend line. The second it cracks the trend line, you could look to play Apple to the short side. You have a nice uptrend here on Apple. The second Apple cracks this trend line, you could look to play some puts to the downside. We pretty much hit target on Snowflake. Snowflake, 326.90. We had a 325 target, came within $2. I'll take it. There's OP, guys. Start thinking about locking in some profits on your OP position if you guys have it. All right, you guys are probably up 50, 60 cents a share. You're hitting VWAP. Lock in a little bit of cheddar, guys. Lock in a little bit of profits. Never a bad idea to take profit in this market. Just like CNTX, right? When you got that big pop, it was a great idea to lock in a little bit of profits. Right now, over 875, you have room to 950. So you're still intact. You're still trying to hold on up on CNTX. It's just a strong break over 875 and a strong close over 875, that's when we could really see buyers step in up towards around 950 here on CNTX. You guys should have been trimming a little bit of profit on OP. You guys should have been trimming a little bit of profit on CNTX. And if you guys took the red to green move on ARDX, you should have been trimming some profit as well. And ATXI, that sleeper play, guys, get ready. ATXI, not a lot of volume, right? Not a lot of volume, but from a technical perspective, it is starting to move up through some key levels of support. Remember, this was the 4th stock that I had on watch as my back burner sleeper play, the low float sleeper play that could take on off. A simple break over 150, we could see this pop to around 175 to 180 here on ATXI. ISPC and LGVN, quick pops, fading on off. Still, all of our trades are intact. CNTX from the trade is intact. ARDX and OP are still intact. And look at that. First target was met on OP. One of your first targets was met on CNTX as well at 875. About 50 cents to lock in some profits. And the other low float sleeper play that could start popping on off over 150 up to 178, 180 is ATXI. Jimmy B's up 82 on the day. Nice, nice. Being smart, staying disciplined, locking in some consistent profits. You know, OP still looks okay. Out of every stock that I'm looking at, CNTX, ARDX, and ATXI, OP looks the best. What kind of formation could we be seeing on OP? I think Sam is the one that really likes this. I may be mistaken, but what is the formation that we're starting to see on OP? Yeah, this is a challenging one. Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings. What we're maybe seeing here is a very simple squeeze. 9 EMA VWAP squeeze formation. We see the stock regain the 9 EMA. We see it run up and get rejected off the VWAP, pull back and hold above the 9 EMA. We've seen this a lot of times where the stock will regain the 9 EMA, reject off VWAP, pull back to the 9 EMA, and then break over the VWAP as the 9 EMA causes it to squeeze over the VWAP for a nice explosive move. So we're seeing a very simple, very easy 9 EMA VWAP squeeze formation starting to play out here on OP. So right now, in my opinion, I would be putting stops at break even. If I were in this trade, and we were buying this down here around this trend line at $9, my stops right now would be right at break even at $9, okay? I'd be trimming a little bit more profit, maybe a little bit more just to get paid because you're right at $10 resistance, right? I'd trim a little bit more here on OP, right at that $10 resistance that you just hit. So right now you've taken probably a couple different exits, right? You had a little bit of an exit at the VWAP. Now you're taking a little bit more at 10. Your stop is most definitely at break even now. So this is how you leave a runner. You make your entry, take profit when you're at a 1-to-1. In this case, it happened to be VWAP, which was awesome. You have another profit target at $10, right? You've already locked in profit. You've already gotten paid on the day. Now your stop loss goes from $8.50 to break even. You guys should be in right around $9. You are at break even now. And now you leave a runner on the table. And if the stock explodes, you can continue to take profit as the stock rips to the upside. You can continue to scale out. That's how we leave runners on the table. So this was a great example for some of you guys that had the question, like, how do I leave a runner on the table? This is the best example I can give you how you leave a runner on the table. Buying at $9, stops at $8.50. You start hitting some initial targets, right? You start trimming some profit. Once you trim profit, stops now go to break even. You're now risk free, and you're still walking away profitable on the trade, worst case scenario. But best case scenario, the stock continues to explode and the stock continues to rip to the upside. You can continue to scale out and continue to make money if it does go to 12, if it does go to 15, if it does go to 20. But that's how you go from a trade with a loss to taking profit, making money, right? And then going risk-free in that position just to avoid taking a green trade to a losing trade. Snowflake has the same 9 EMA VWAP look to it. I would expect Snowflake to possibly pop back up to 340 here, guys. Snowflake to 340 and then 345 on Snow. We do have the SPY breaking over this 462.13. Right now, team, if you want calls on the SPY, you're looking at 464 calls. You have room to 464. The SPY had a nice rip right above that 462.13 level. It is now consolidating above old resistance, new support, and you have the 9 EMA holding it up as support as well. This is a low risk, good reward trade. You can catch about $1.50 to the upside. Your stop right now is about 50 cents. This is a 3-to-1 setup for calls on the SPY to 464. You're risking 50 cents on the chart. You're looking for $1.50 to the upside to $4.64 there on the SPY. The Qs went for a red to green move. Same thing. The Qs, red to green, pullback, entry. We were saying you had room to $400 there on the Qs. So right now you have about another dollar to the upside there on the Qs. CNTX is still paying the team. Just so you guys can see this, right? This was before, right? This image was well before CNTX ever made a move, right? This was at 9:45 when I drew this up. Look at the similarities, right? Do not buy until it breaks and holds over support, right? You see the break over resistance that holds that support. That's where you make your entry. Stop slightly below that level, and you look to take profit along the move up to 950. What are we seeing right now on CNTX? We saw the break over resistance, turned into new support. That's where you make your entries. Your stops would have been slightly below support, never been stopped out. Right now, you're up 70 to 80 cents per share on CNTX. Did anybody catch CNTX? Right now, 870 to 875 is your new level of support. You still have room to 950. Hey, we got someone in it. Trim some profits. Never a bad idea to trim a little bit of profit. You know, you're pushing $1 a share to the upside right now. That's killer profits, man. That's killer. You're pushing about $1 a share right now. Definitely start thinking about trimming and going stops at break even right now. Yes, I definitely scale out, like Corey, scaling out. You know, I would definitely, you know, in my opinion, I would go stops at break even. I would not take a winning trade to a losing trade. I mean, worst case scenario, I would let it go break even if you think it has room to 950, but don't be greedy. You're up $1 a share right now. Definitely think about trimming a little bit. Definitely bringing those stops to break even at the lowest. And if you hit 950.10, you're looking good. You're looking great on CNTX. But definitely put yourself in a position to take money from the market. That's the way to do it, Corey. Take the trade, take profit when you're up, bring stops to break even. Now you're risk-free and you're getting paid, baby. You're getting paid. Still, you're up 50 cents. Good job. Good job. You're up 50, 60 cents a share. Let's say it again. Make sure you're always locking in profits, guys. Make sure you're always locking in profits. OP, you'd probably be getting stopped out at break even, but you had a winning trade and you got stopped out at break even on the rest. At least you're walking away profitable on OP. Now what do? You sit back and wait for another setup. Right now, you sit back and just wait for another opportunity to present itself. And that's it. That's it. You just wait for another opportunity to get involved. Same thing with CNTX. You make your entries. I mean, beautiful entries, guys. Absolutely beautiful entries. I'm proud of you guys for taking that trade, building the right plan, the right targets, and I see you guys scaling out and trimming those profits. Right now, stops go to break even. You still do have some potential to the upside here. You got a nice little uptrend here on the stock as well. So what I would do is, if you wanted to, if you were like, dude, I don't want to put a stop at break even because I still want to walk away with some good profits, put your stop below like 850 then. Put your stop right below the VWAP, which is right below the trend line as well, and it's below that 875. I want to see this hold above the trend line and 875. We can see that. We have room to 950 and 10 still. Good job. Good job. Got a quick 250 to start the day. That's nice. That's great. Let me put this in perspective. We were talking about this yesterday. Skylar was like, you know what? $100, $200 doesn't get me like all jacked up. Doesn't get me all fired up, right? I want $1,000 days. Let me put this in perspective real quick to make sure your mindset is right. Remember, discipline December. We're talking mindset. $250. Doesn't seem like a lot in the moment, but that's a damn good trade. Here's why. $250 a day consistently over 20 trading days a month. That's $5,000 times 12 months. That's $60,000. Now, when you put it in terms like that, what sounds better? $250 a day or $60,000 a year working for 2 hours, doing what you love? I'll take the $60K a year working 2 hours a day doing what I love. Yeah, in the moment, $250, I want $5. I want $1,000. But you continue to add that up and continue to compound that over and over and over and over consistently with discipline. Number one, it makes your job so much easier. It allows you to keep those emotions under control because you don't have huge swings in P&L. It's slow and steady and consistent base hits. At the end of the year, you'd be like, damn, I made 60, 70 grand. That feels great. That's a great income for day trading, guys. Let's be real. That's a great income to work 2 to 3 hours a day being your own boss. So Jay Rich posting a couple pictures here. So Jay Rich, sell 113, average price fill at 895, order filled at 950. It was a limit order, limit price at 864. So I see exactly what you did wrong, Jay Rich. Was that supposed to be a stop? I gotta turn my fan on. So if that was supposed to be a stop, you placed a limit order to the sell side. So the fact that you placed a limit order to the sell side below the price, it's going to fill you. It has to be a stop limit order, Jay Rich, right? Because you didn't use a stop order. You have to use a stop order. So if you want to put a stop loss in the system, you have to use a stop order, right? So instead of just a limit, you need to use a stop limit. You're only going to get filled if the price comes down to that level. So why did it sell at 895 and I had it set to sell at 864? Because you just did a limit order. So if you put a limit order to the sell side below the current bid, it will fill you at the current bid. If you do a stop order, it's going to just sit stagnant in the system. It's going to sit there and just be stagnant. It's not going to do anything until the price comes down to that level. So you have to use what's called a stop limit or just a stop order. That is your stop loss. Just limits, it will fill you. It's right on your broker. It looks like you're using Webull. It's right on your broker. So when you switch it from limit to market, you'll see a stop limit. You'll see a stop as well. Stops, right? Just a typical stop and a stop limit. That's how you place stop losses in the system. You just have to change the order type from market to stop. Right now, you're still trying to hold above that 870 to 875 on CNTX. It's taking some heat around this trend line. It's definitely taking some heat here. Again, below 850, I would be walking away completely. ARDX has been a nice clean mover today, guys. Like I said this morning, it's a medium float stock. It's a slow, steady mover. Don't expect it to rip $1 at a time, but over the course of the day, you could see it move up 50, 60 cents. This was a trade at 135, 140, right? Right now, it's too late. Right now, you're too late. You're buying at the sell target, right? Our sell target's 160, right? You're buying at our sell target. No. You were buying at 135 to 140 when we were talking about this for the red to green move, and now you're selling. You're not buying, you're selling now. You're hitting target. No, you're not. No, you're not, Jay Rich. Not at all, man. This is what I'm talking about, though. This is why we're doing Discipline December, right? Remember that picture I showed you of the tree, right? Before you start taking trades on real accounts, right? Before you start taking trades on real accounts and making mistakes, make mistakes on a paper account. That's the foundation, right? Make these mistakes on a fake account. Don't make these mistakes on a real account. That's the foundation that we're talking about and what we're really going to be focusing on for the month of December, right? Because we're going to make mistakes as new traders. It's a part of the game, right? You made a mistake. We've all been there. We've done it before. I've done it several times on real accounts. So what do I preach? Doing it on a fake account. Because I made so many mistakes on a real account and I've lost so much money. Learn from my mistakes. Don't do what I did as a new trader. Do what I tell you to do. I say paper trade, right? And make mistakes on a fake account, or put $100 in a real account and make mistakes with $100. Don't make mistakes with thousands of dollars in the beginning, because you will make mistakes. You will. It happens. I've made plenty of mistakes. So I'm trying to teach you guys based on my experience of what I did wrong and what I wish I would have done different. Make mistakes on a fake account. It happens. I still make mistakes to this day, Jay. I do. I'll fat finger trades instead of 1,000 shares. I'll go 10,000 shares, right? I'll accidentally click the button too many times. If I'm in a long position, I'll click it too many times to sell, and I'll actually flip short accidentally. We make mistakes. It happens. It happens. But never say the R word. You are not Jay Rich. It's a part of learning. Part of learning. No one's stupid. It's a part of learning, man. It really is. Okay? It happens. We learn from the mistake. We know what to do differently for next time. And what I suggest, if you're brand new to the market, you make mistakes on a fake account, or you make mistakes on a $100 account to where you can afford to lose $100. Bought a weekly instead of, I've done that before too. I blew up a $2,500 E-Trade account last year because I bought the wrong expiration. Like, seriously. The system was weird. I never traded options before on E-Trade, and I went to buy a 3-week expiration, and I threw my whole account into the 3-week expiration calls. Well, I fucked up and I bought the weeklies. They expired worthless. If I would have bought the right contract, my thesis would have been correct, and I would have made a shit ton. But I made a mistake, and I blew up my entire account because I bought the wrong expiration. Again, what was my mistake? I didn't paper trade on that platform first to get to know the platform. So I just messed up. There was a certain way that you had to buy options on E-Trade that I didn't know until after I lost $2,500. I wish I would have paper traded through the mistakes first and then funded my account and started taking advantage of it. Because again, the platform was so foreign to me, right? So that's another thing. If it's a brand new platform, paper trade the new platform. Get familiar with the new platform. We've all been there. We've all made mistakes. Yep. 464. I don't even need to look at it. 464. So your entry was right there off the flag above the 90 EMA. You guys were probably getting long at 462.40. I mean, it's up 50 cents. I mean, those options are probably up 20%, 30% right now, if I'm not mistaken. They're probably up, 20, 30%. Lock in profits and put stops at break even on options. Definitely, when you're in the green in an options contract, regardless of your target, I'm going to be real with you. If you're in an options contract and you're up, you take your profit, right? If you're equities, you can work with it. Because here's the thing. You bought right there. Let's say you bought at 462.11 and you're up 20% at this high. This red candle could put you back down at break even on an options contract. Seriously, you're still up on the trade from entry to where the stock's currently at. You're still technically up from a dollar amount on the stock. But with options, you could be up, and this one red candle could put you back at break even on that trade. But you're still technically up on the trade. Be quick to lock in profits on options. Don't be greedy with options. When you're up 10, 20, 30%, take it. 30% and the stock moved 0.2%, right? Take your 20, 30%. That's a killer trade. Never be greedy with options because literally you could be up 20% and one candle could put you back down in the hole. They broke the uptrend. Nice. There were some good shorts there. Look at that. Beautiful short. Oh, you guys are getting paid on Apple. You guys are getting paid for the uptrend crack on Apple. That's beautiful stuff right there. Nice job, team. Nice job. You guys are killing it today. You guys are absolutely killing it today.